Hello and welcome. Welcome to my journey. Welcome to my channel, Carnivore Scott. And today, this video is going to be all about life in and outside of carnivore, or maybe I should say, the life of a carnivore from a more holistic approach. This is going to be about three areas I'm going to talk about. First, I'm going to talk about what's in the carnivore life that is directly relatable to carnivore life, and that would be the food I eat, and I'll throw up some pictures of food I eat. The next thing is going to be about non-scale victory. It's about the why, about what am I doing to enhance my carnivore journey, so to speak. And then outside of it, but still within it, because you can't split a person up. It's going to be hobbies. Like I like to do some light woodworking, and I like to do stuff with rocks. Lapidary type work. Just looking at rocks and contemplating their whole concept of a rock and where they come from and how did they get to where I found them and all the things around a rock. It's amazing how we have so many things within literature and our lives that we use the term rock for. Like if you want rock hard abs or, stuff like that, or building your life on a foundation of rock. So I'm just fascinated by rock. And then, of course, to wrap all three of those up into a nice, neat basket is going to be YouTube and how I use YouTube in my carnivore journey and along my carnivore journey and outside of it. So buckle up and let's go on a journey. All right. So first things first, let's talk about food. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, so to speak, right? 3 macronutrients. We're all pretty aware of it. For those who might be stumbling along here or watching this guy go crazy on the screen, well, sort of going crazy. When we think about food, food is something you need. Everybody tries a diet. Everybody's on a diet. Even if you're not on a diet, even if you're not eating food, you're on a diet. It's a calorie-restricted diet. So a diet is all around us. And I want to give a shout out to Homestead How with Carrie there. He had a great topic, and his video had a title in it that said something to the tune of, and if I can, I'll link to it. But the title of it was The Greatest Fad Diet Ever, which is the standard American diet. We had to be convinced to eat it. I think that's amazing. It didn't occur naturally. It's not an organic feeling, so to speak. I'm not trying to coin a phrase, like organic food. I'm saying that it didn't come up from a deep understanding and upwelling within our beings that we needed to eat the standard American diet. A little bit of fat, lots and lots and lots and lots of carbohydrates, and processed ones even better. So food, though. Get into the food. What have I been doing? Well, I eat a lot of eggs. Now, I don't eat steak and butter gal number of eggs in a day, but I'm averaging 12 to 16 eggs a day. And I'll go ahead and show some pictures here along the way and some insets. I might put some pictures over there, or I could put some pictures over here, or here, or here. You'll see them. But put in the pictures, and it's just going to be, generally speaking, I'll take my eggs and I'll crack them, I'll separate them, and I'll put the egg yolks in a cup, I'll put the egg whites in a bowl or in the pan, and I'll cook up the egg whites. And normally what I'll do is I'll get, like, let's say 6 eggs, maybe 8, but 6 eggs is usual load. And I'll put them in a pan, the egg whites, and so I'm cooking in some butter. And then I'll take the egg yolks and put them in a cup aside, but I'll add 2 egg yolks to the egg whites. I'm just not an egg white fan. Sue me. I mean, it's not that I don't like egg whites, but I normally like them cooked with the whole egg with cheese all over them and salsa and sour cream. And I'm kind of trying to pull back a little bit from that. So I'll go ahead and make up the egg whites, and with 2 egg yolks in there. So 6 to 8 eggs and scrambled and in a bowl, and I'll put a couple tablespoons of butter on them. And yes, I use pepper and some salt. And then in the egg cup, what I'll do is I'll soften some butter, like maybe 2 tablespoons of butter, and I'll take my little wisp. I might take a video of it one day, but I take a wisp and I wisp up the egg yolks, and I'm learning something kind of interesting. You know, when you separate eggs, you've got your egg white, you got your egg yolk, and then you got that white clingy thing that's on the egg yolk, right? Well, I'm able to get that off sometimes when I do the old separation thing. But when I don't get it off and it ends up in my yolk cup, that little white clump, that ends up on the wisp stick. So I'm able to separate it. Yay me! Not easy to clean off that little grate thing, that little spring that's on the end, but I get it out so I don't drink any chunks. Sorry about that. But anyway, to my egg yolks, I'll add a little salt, the 2 tablespoons of softened / melted butter, and I might put a dollop of heavy cream in there, right? It makes a wonderful cream sauce. I don't know if that's a hollandaise sauce. I don't know what it might call, but I call it egg yolk sauce, right? Or creamed egg yolk. And I can either take that egg yolk and drink it, and normally I drink about half of it because it tastes so good. My body just loves it. And then there'll be times like when I have this picture of hamburgers. I'll grill up burgers, and then I'll open up the burger in the middle, kind of make it into a little 4 chunks, and I'll pour it all over. Maybe there's a little video on that in the screen now. So then there'll be slabs of butter, there'll be egg yolk that's not cooked, so I get all the nutrition out of it, more butter, and then the pieces of meat. I like it. I like it a lot. And that's a meal. So eggs and meat and meat and eggs and meat. Matter of fact, last night we got a chance to go to a game of hockey. We have like the low entry level, semi-pro, low A-league hockey here in town. So we went to a hockey game, and you go to a hockey game, you go to something like that, you want to buy food. Even though I ate earlier, I had to buy food. The wife had to buy food. We wanted to buy food. Well, this is a story of true love. We're at the game. I'm sitting my big self down in little people seats, but I get in a little people seat. I'm sitting there with my burger, and it's a double cheeseburger. And I'm feeling a cheeseburger because it has an American cheese on there, but it's fat. Anyhow, I've got the patty, and I don't like the prices. Just want to let you know that. Anyway, I have my $9 double hamburger, large double hamburger, like a double quarter pounder for $9. And I'm going to get rid of the bread, and I'm like, what am I going to put on this? Because it's a little dry. I'll tell you what I do. I put a little bit of mustard on there, a squirt of mustard, right? I'm thinking, I'm good. Me and the wife, we're sitting down in the chairs. Hockey stuff's getting ready to go on. Little guys out there skating on the ice. And I start eating my hamburger. Nom, 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 nom. And nom, 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 nom. I make that sound when I eat. Nom, 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 nom. And as I'm eating, my wife says to me, "Oh, such a sweet woman." My wife says, "I brought some butter. Would you like it?" Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I've heard of purse bacon. Well, my wife has purse butter, pocket butter. I don't know what you want to call it. She didn't have a purse. She had a pocket. But she had a little tiny Tupperware. I didn't know just a little one we use to store little things in, little leftovers, right? And in that little, she had half a stick of butter. I'm sitting there, and other people around, it might have been looking, go, wow, what's going on with that guy? But I had a hamburger in one hand, not eating the bread, just eating the meat. You remember? Num, 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 num. And little pieces of butter. Num, 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 num. It was so good. And I got down to the last half bite of butter. And it was a half bite because I eating the other bite, right? I'd eaten half of it, and my burger's just about totally gone. And my wife looks at it and goes, "Oh." I went, oh. I didn't know you wanted some. She said, "Oh, no." I said, "Well, you want this last half bite?" "Oh, no, that's okay. The butter with the teeth mark in it? No, I don't want that one." Rude of me. But wasn't that wonderful? My wife brought butter for me to a hockey game. I was so happy. And I sat there with my butter and my burger in my little tiny chair, and I was so happy. That's what I'm eating these days. Butter, burger, maybe a sausage here, a lot of eggs. Yeah, it's pretty good. Matter of fact, today we went to a Chinese buffet after church. I ate roasted chicken. I ate roasted ribs, like a grilled rib, and I ate hamburger. They made a little meatloaf, so I had me a little bit, like a half a meatloaf. I think I did good. Now, moving on from food, because we're not just food, right? And oh, by the way, turn that around. You'll notice there's no topic of exercise because I'm not really doing it. Maybe one day I'll do it. Not today, not yesterday. Well, yesterday I did walk some up a rather aggressive hill, but that's for another day. But I don't really exercise, not yet. I'm thinking about it. I need to get my HDL up, and I can't do that unless I do some vigorous exercise. I can get my triglycerides down, I can get my A1Cs down, but I can't get my HDL unless I do something. So I'm going to have to get up and do things. Y'all help me, will you? Will you help me? Will you keep me motivated? Will you give me motivation? All right. Moving on now to some non-scale victories. Non-scale victories would be clothes that have been in my closet for a while that can fit. I like it. They getting voluminous on me, you know, and I kind of like that. And also, number one, inflammation. I know we hear a lot about inflammation. A lot of people in their lifestyle are talking about how inflammation gets better. I'm here to say it does. Has gotten rid of all my inflammation over my entire body? No. But my right knee for the last 2.5 weeks has been just not comfortable. And one of the things I couldn't do, and I'll back up here and see if I can do it here on camera, and I can't. Okay. I like to sometimes cross my legs. You know, I'm sitting there, I want to cross my right over my left over my right, you know, kind of like the hokey pokey. You put it in, you put it out, right? Do it all over again. Well, I can't do that sometimes with my right knee. It hurt. I mean, I couldn't even put my right over my left for 30 seconds or put my knee all the way. I might be able to do it here. You know, put this leg up all the way over like this. Doing just that and sitting here like this with this leg bent like that, by now I'd already have to undo it. I'd be screaming. And I won't kid you now. It don't feel awesome right now, but I couldn't do this. And now it's just tight. It's not really painful. So, what am I saying? Can't get no respect. What I'm saying is my inflammation in my knee that has been bothering me has markedly improved in the last 24 hours. And I really like that. You know, it's a funny, or not funny thing, but it's a interesting thing how inflammation dominates our lives. So I don't know about you, but in my life, it's a dominating factor. And sometimes you get so used to that condition that the condition of your condition is normal. And then when it goes away, you realize you weren't living in a normal way. You were compensating, you were coping, you were medicating, and I'm better. And if this is what a few weeks of being dedicated does, I am really excited with the potential of what a few months will bring. Now, I did it a couple months before. I went off for a few months, totally lost my mind, but I'm back. It's a lifestyle thing. And then moving into the area of what's going on outside of carnivore, but in my life. So I'm at a stage in life right now, like semi-retired Bob, like old guy Carnivore, and a few other people. I'm basically retired. And that leaves a lot of time in the day, a lot of hours in the day to fill up that I used to fill up with getting ready for work, going to work, working, avoiding work, coming home from work. You get the idea. I don't have all that anymore. The 9 hours I spent at work, an hour before, an hour after, the 11 hours of a day that I was actively engaged in work, and then there's 1 or 2 hours after post work where you're winding down, you're re-engaging, or you're doing work at home, right? We don't call it homework when you get into the adult world, but it is homework, right? That stuff is all gone. I have 11 hours back in my day. I need to fill them. So what am I doing? What are the hobbies? What are the passions? What are the retirement things I wanted to do? Well, I don't know. I think I wasn't really prepared for retirement. So what I have on the card, these are my little show notes. What I have on the card are my hobbies. One of them is involving wood and the other rock. And I think we talked a little bit about that rock, about how ubiquitous, how pervasive the term rock is in our society and in our language and in our art and in our lives as a whole, right? We have sheet rock for walls. You get the picture there, right? So I'm going to talk about wood first. I love to work with wood. Some of you may have seen other things. I do silly things with wood. I carve wood. I make just little wood blocks because even a wood block keeps Scotty happy. But I do things with wood that make me happy. And what I'm doing of late and what I've done are some of these things here. And you'll see here I have I'm going to put up a picture of a wood bowl. And that wood bowl, I think it has a big chunk of butter in it. But it's made out of walnut. And the story is, I take wood from a wood pile that's going to be burnt and thrown away. It's at a gentleman who has a sawmill, and he sells all kinds of wood. And when he saws it and he mills it and he goes through it all, what he can't use goes into his fire pit and he burns and it's gone. And normally he can't use it because it has imperfections in it. It's not perfect. It's not stable for him to resell as quality wood for woodworkers and whoever needs some wood. And I had the idea one day, there's nothing wrong with this wood. It's just wrong for the application it was being set up for. Well, I asked the man about the wood in the burn pile. Some of this wood goes for $14 to $23 a board foot. I asked him about this wood in the pile, and he said, any wood in the pile you get to have for free. You just have to pull it out of the pile. I was like, are you serious? I have about 4,000 board feet of wood in my garage, and maybe there's a little video, or you'll see that in the video that's playing in my very messy, my very cluttered, and my very comfortable garage. I would have you know, my garage reflects my mind. Very cluttered. Anyway, I like to work with the wood, and I like to make bowl-like things, or I have made many spoons. And so everybody has to have a hobby, and that's my hobby, or one of them. The other one is some lapidary work with some of the stones I find, and we have a great lapidary stone geology rockhound club here in Huntsville, Alabama, and I use it, and here are some of the things I've done with that, just polishing different rocks, and I can see myself in the future building things with these rocks, doing some jewelry. I do a little silversmithing. I'm not a real silversmith, but I take silver and make rings out of silver, and it's just a fun thing I like to do for the people in my family and the people around me. Again, those 9 to 11 hours in a day I need to fill up. And of course, YouTube. There's YouTube and doing these things and making these videos. Now, I'm not terribly certain how this is going to work out. I don't like to do editing. Editing takes a lot of time. And I know a lot of people out there in the YouTube universe, they do a lot of great editing. I'm happy for them. One day I too will probably do great editing. But for now, I don't want perfection to get in the way of completion. And so there we have it. There's just a snapshot. I thought I'd tell you all about my journey and what I do in the carnivore world. And the other thing I like to do is I like to do or watch lots of videos and read papers on different discoveries and understanding of the things that circulate and matriculate through the carnivore crowd. Like how does how do ketones work on the human brain to help with Alzheimer's, or how do ketones work to help with a fatty liver disease? Because see, I am very fortunate. I am one of those people with a fatty liver. I have a fatty liver. I got to admit it. I thought I had a nice svelte liver. It felt good under here. It wasn't protruding. But they say I have a fatty liver. And I had ultrasounds done on it. And I've had imaging done on it. I have a fatty liver. And for bonus, I get they say they think I may have portal vein hypertension. Hey, look, it just is what it is. I'm going to just keep on keeping on here with the carnivore way of life. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what the numbers do. My latest and greatest effort, and I'm looking over here at my table, is to my latest greatest effort is to start tracking my glucose. And I have a couple of glucose monitors. I have a ketone monitor. I'm wishing, I'm hoping, and we're going to see if I can talk my doctor into letting me have a CGM. I get a CGM for the back of the arm, and I can do some good data analysis there. But yeah, I've been tracking it for the past couple of days, and this is my last. I took this one just a couple of moments ago at 92, and an hour or so before that, it was 90. So I had a 90 blood sugar, an hour and 20 minutes maybe postprandial of eating at the Chinese restaurant. And that was last night before I went to bed, 95. And then prior to that, 91 at 1:30 in the afternoon. So I'm starting to keep some data points. Now here in the morning time yesterday, it did get to 107. I think that's that morning, what they call it, they call it a spike. They have a certain name for it that is escaping me at the moment. But I'm going to keep an eye on that and start watching it and stay tried and true to my diet or to our diet and see what shakes. Now, the question really now in this last few minutes is to ask, what do you all do for your hobbies? What are some of the things that, when you're not busy making a video or editing a video? Some of you I know, like Carnivore Kip, you have your family, you have your beautiful girl Abigail, and you're doing those things. A lot of you are in a young phase of your family, so that's really a dominating factor, and that's good. I'm glad that you're engaged with your family. Others do other things. Some of you I know like to go to concerts. So some of you might like to go do ballroom dancing. I don't know. But what are some things you do? Post that down there in the comments and let me know what some of your hobbies or the things you do to pass and while away the time. Finally, one of the other things I'm doing is I'm trying to learn how to play this here git fiddle. I've had this git fiddle since the year 2000, so it's about 24 years old, and I still don't know how to play it a lick. I can bang around a couple chords, and I can pick a note or two, but I'm just not musically inclined. I'm not going to let that get in the way, though, because I do like it. Well, I kind of like it. It's a love-hate relationship. I'm sure you all understand that. But again, I really just want to take a moment to say thank you. Thank you for watching. And if you made it this far, really, thank you for watching. And Thank you for being so welcoming and inviting and receiving me. You know, I went ahead and went crazy and did a lot with the carnivore community when I first started last year, and it was great, getting along just fine. Then I fell off the wagon, fell off the face of the earth, didn't communicate, and now I'm back. We're going to see what happens here. I'm going to throw out a few lives. I like to do lives, but I want to get a video out just to show a few things, to have something as a place card, as a holder in the YouTube Wayback Machine that people can go back and look at. Other than that, I am, working real hard to keep this less than 30 minutes. And right now we're looking at about 25. So I think with that, I'm going to let you go, and I'll come back at you with another topic, another video. One I want to talk about is, again, some of the things around carnivore, things that go on in our lives that are not strictly about diet. They aren't strictly about exercise, but I believe that they are important. They're aspects of our lives that they bear being spoken about and maybe being shared, because I think some aspects of our lives are incongruent with what we're doing in a dietary thing. And I think there are some aspects in our lives that, for me at least, I can say, I wish were a little bit different, that the discipline was a little different, and that maybe by sharing and opening up, now we could find some common ground, and we can find some ways to lift each other up, to support each other in our journey. Because while we are in a carnivore space with videos and trading information and relationships, that isn't the only thing about us. We are so much more complex than just the food we eat. But we've allowed the food industry and others to make how we eat and what we eat and when we eat and with whom we eat so important, as to the exclusion of way too many other things. And as you all know, when you're eating carnivore, your life is simplified. Well, in that simplicity, what are we doing with the extra time? And are we being constructive with it? So that'd be a topic for a future video. I look forward to seeing all of you out there. And again, if you would like to, it would bring joy to me in the truest sense. It would bring a sense of joy to me for you all to smash the like button, to leave a comment, and if possible, share with somebody that, hey, Scotty P is out there putting out videos again. A good old Carnivore Scott is back at it. All right, y'all take care, and we'll see you around. Bye-bye.